Welcome back, Rimworldians. This is Chapter 24 of Harriet's Tale. In the previous segment, our protagonist cleared out the ancient danger and increased the colony's size and strength. Let's see what progress can be made this time. We return to Harriet at the end of the last quadrum. It is December 14th, year 5502. Everyone is busy with routine tasks, such as Dark tending to the fields and Harriet preparing new residential quarters. A new project is staged at 17 hours. As Lyons isolates the explosive chem fuel, Harriet plans to have the multi-analyzer installed for faster and more advanced research. Early the following morning, the animal beds are moved outside the hospital. Too often, the four-legged friends have taken damage and precious time has been wasted hauling meds from one side of the base to the center. Now, they will not only be next to the hospital for faster treatments, but also next to the defensive line. Five hours later, yet another elephant self-tames. At this rate, Randy is turning Harriet's base into an elephant conservation reserve. If Harriet survives long enough and breeding can reach a critical mass, she could in theory have an economy based on elephant tusks and leather. Time will tell. In any case, this pachyderm will not be disposable and is renamed to Rennick. Thanks for the financial support. Always a pleasure to have you, bud. Later that afternoon, Harriet is deconstructing a steel ruin to supplement her stockpiles. As she returns her newfound resources, Exec is again inspired to trade by his intellectual studies. The sun has been setting, and a storm rumbles over Harriet's stretch of tropical rainforest. In the earliest hours of the new year, the dining area is reoriented. At 13 hours, the first of 3 research needed for armor fabrication is complete. With smithing done, work can now begin on machining. Harriet notices Dark's melancholy, reminding herself of the loss of his entire family to violence at her colony. To help lift his spirits, she offers him the last of the delicious insect jelly gathered from the hive that was previously destroyed in the ancient danger. As night approaches, yet again more thrombos migrate into the area. This quadrum is turning into a series of deja vu. The colonists will be allowed to rest through the night and deal with hunting down this value when they are fresh the preceding day. On April May the 2nd, the storage compartment floors are removed in preparation for its finish. As this endeavor is being readied, a maddened boomalope approaches the base. Harriet's squad assembles outside the southern entrance, using the pond marsh to slow the suicide bomber. Its ensuing fiery blast and the heavy rain is promptly extinguished, allowing Mackie to retrieve the body for colony consumption. Upon midday, the squad reassembles with the cavalry in tow to take down their apex prey. The 3 thrumbos are retrieved for processing. The elephants are mildly battered, but will make a full recovery. Upon closer inspection, Streams has become pregnant. Perhaps in the future it would be wise to keep her out of the fight to avoid another miscarriage. That same night, at 20 hours, the sandstone floors are installed. Harriet elects to use flagstone instead of tiles to make the large project construct faster. Additionally, this will keep the colony wealth lower, and the sacrificed beauty means little in a room that sees such short-term colonist presence. Halfway through the flooring, at midday of the 3rd, Lyons becomes frustratingly bored of the existing entertainment. There's only so much chess, billiards, and hoopstone one can play. Hours later, Slag successfully recruits Nelson, who should be an interesting personality in the colony due to her intense neuroticism. That night, Sora is renamed Beaks, and Nelson is dubbed Crunchy. Thanks, both of you, for your unwavering support these many months and years. Much love, guys. As the storage compartment is properly completed, Wheel is notified of a contact on the comms console. A bulk trader in orbit wants to do business. Since Exec is still inspired and has just completed machining research, she is redirected to make the transaction. After lengthy consideration, she exchanges all textiles with the exception of cloth and elephant leather. Cloth will be kept for furniture, and the elephant leather will be used for clothes as it is more durable to damage, and armor is something the colony will be investing itself more heavily in. Exec continues on to purchase 20 units of standard medicine and 700 units of steel, ridding herself of the luciferium in the process. All incompatible, tattered, or poor apparel is sent off with the looted crown and grand sculpture. In hindsight, Harriet will regret having sold the art due to the benefit it would have offered the hospital. But she doesn't lose any sleep over it, since art is something Beaks and Crazy can easily replace as skilled artists. Exec continues on to notice a discrepancy in the profits, and tosses in the sale of jade for the purchase of a stack of plasteel for future defenses. With the massive gain in silver, the hospital floors can now be completed. It is at this point that Harriet also notices that in fact the male boomalope does produce chemfuel milk. Thus, upon revision, he will not be used as a suicide bomb. Late on the 4th, Crazy is also expressing exasperation with the existing recreation. While the living area is reoriented to make room for a poker table, a bulk trade caravan from the northeast Arido approaches through the tempest from the west. With Exec's inspiration satisfied, Wheel takes over trade once again. He sells a couple more undesirable apparel for a meager profit. Also, for your viewing pleasure, the colony seems strong enough that they can squander some power on extraneous lighting. It seems as though Exec's life is one long motivational video.
Yesterday, you said tomorrow, so just do it!
Because she is again inspired, this time with a shooting frenzy, ready to blast away any who dares to test her accuracy.
Do it!
Though recreation is weighing on some of the colonists, there is certainly one lingering upgrade slightly more urgent, and that is the medical upgrades. The medical beds will be replaced by proper hospital beds. There is a shortage of components, so mining operations will be assigned. While the hospital is gradually modernized, the living area is also adjusted to make room for a poker table. Meanwhile, outside, a Dark understandably throws a tantrum. His wife's death still weighs heavily on his broken heart. As day turns to night on the 5th, the poker table is put together. Wheel also intercepts the departing bulk trade caravaneers so that he can simply purchase their entire stock of components due to how slow and scattered the machinery nodes are in the local area. A boomy boy comes down with the flu on the morning of the 6th in the center of all the animals. If he dies, Randy only knows how much damage he will cause to the others. Harriet immediately rushes to treat his illness to prevent the worst. The poker setup is concluded and the hospital beds are resituated. 2 important improvements to the colony's stability are thus achieved. Due to the increased stress of the food reserves, some hunting on the wild boomalope is prioritized. The rain will prevent any wildfires from unfolding as Beaks and Exec bring back their kills. Since Crunchy has a near non-existent range skill, but is quite the brawler, she is armed with a thrombo horn, with which she can savagely skewer any threats unfortunate enough to get within her reach. Here, at the end of the 6th of April, year 5503, we meet the end of Chapter 24. Harriet's 3rd year of survival begins strong. The power and provision reserves are heavily stressed, but she has added a daunting number of fighters to her animals and pawns. A few weapons will need to be procured, but overall things are looking solid. Randy's been very relaxed this episode, so Harriet better be prepared for the remaining quadrum, because his silence compounded by the colony's increased size means the next attacks will undoubtedly be impressive. We'll find out in Chapter 25. And with that said, take care, my friends, and thank you for your attention. Like, sub, ring the bell. As always, I hope you are safe, healthy, and fulfilled, and I will see you on the next one.